Senatorial, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for this opportunity to address you on the priorities and policies I think are critical for the future of our island. 3 years ago I was on this platform here and I addressed you, and if you were listening I told you that your GST would be going up, that your fuel would be going up in price, that your food would be going up in price, and that we would be having a stagnant, no growth economy. I saw those as the inevitable consequences of a global situation about which we have little control and local policy over which we do have control. And the result of that has been an unduly burdensome load on ordinary residents of the island. Not content with just letting the states not do anything on some of those issues, some colleagues and I set up the Jersey Climate Action Network to try and take some action on that, and that's still going. I stood down as chair of that in order to stand in these elections. I believe the diagnosis that I made there was good, and if that's the case, then the remedy that I was proposing then, I believe still holds now. We need to diversify our economy, we need to increase our self-reliance in food and fuel, we need to build community cohesion, and we need a progressive tax system. The current outlook now is no better than it was in 2008. Our carbon dioxide emissions are rising, oil production around the world has peaked, China is buying land to feed its population. There is no economic growth in Europe. There is no economic growth in most of Asia, outside of China. There is no new growth in the USA. And those countries have spent a fortune trying to bolster economies, and there is no ammunition left in the locker. I don't believe the states are taking enough priority on the critical issues that these factors present to us. 5 years we've been waiting for the Energy White Paper. The petition that we raised about asking for a response on the Copenhagen climate change within 6 months was agreed by the states. It never materialised. To give you an example of how we're getting our thinking wrong, you may notice the French are building a couple of test marine turbines on their north coast. They've just announced that. We were told it's too expensive to do here. I don't believe that's the case. The island of Samsø in Denmark in 1997 decided to go 100% alternative energy. They achieved that within 10 years. But what doesn't get reported so much is the consequence of that is they now have a burgeoning tourist industry that they didn't have then, because people wanted to find out what was going on. They liked the environment. They wanted somewhere where they could go and live with a low impact. It created jobs, it created diversity, and I believe if they can do it, we can do it. The programme that I'm putting forward isn't just planet friendly. It's not just a strategy for reducing waste and pollution and increasing recycling and doing all those things that we know we have to do. There are things that we can do more of. There are the quality of life issues that we have to address: art, local sport, broader culture, more community participation. To start this programme, it's going to take 20 years to do, and I think we need to start building foundations immediately. Of course, if we're going to be more self-reliant on food, we need to retain the cultivatable land, not just the big fields, but small holdings and allotments too. We need to put a priority on low input systems like organic and biodynamic systems and train people to be able to use those, and that takes time and it takes an effort. We need to look at microgeneration and insulation so we can help people reduce their costs of heating and running their homes. We need to support ground-up initiatives like the Jersey Transition Movement, where people who have the ideas are coming together and doing things and not being blocked by state's policy. We need to promote skills in old-fashioned things like mending and repairing and doing it for yourself. And we need a centre to do that, something like a community workshop with the tools and so on. The senior building would make a great example of that in town. We need to have a credible plan for how we're going to meet our carbon reduction targets. The targets are fine, I don't have a problem with that, but we have no worked out, measurable way of getting there. We need a fairer, cleaner, greener future, not for ourselves, then for our children.
Thank you.